the first thing I want to ask you is when did you start your vlog? Because you started with the vlog first, right? Before you had your YouTube channel.
Yeah, so I started Vibe with Aid in September of 2017, and then I started it just because I wanted to help people. So I had attended festivals like Coachella 2017, EDC 2017, all these big festivals I went to, and I just like was Googling a bunch of stuff, figuring out how to go to these festivals because I'm like a planner. So I like to
Yeah.
know ahead of time what to expect. And I just wasn't really finding that content for like first timers and stuff. So I really wanted to create a place to offer advice to people. And then I had a GoPro from when I went to study abroad in college, and I made like a little montage video from that. So I started bringing the GoPro to a couple of festivals, and I started my YouTube channel technically in probably October 2017, but I didn't fully start dedicating to YouTube until probably March 2018 when I got my actual camera. And then I was like, okay, I like doing YouTube. Like, let's keep going with that and turn like written content into YouTube content. So yeah, it's been quite a journey, but it's been really awesome.
That's so cool. Yeah, like I have a similar. I mean, my YouTube channel's been all over the place, but I started making Coachella related content. So most of my videos are Coachella related. I do vlogs and
Mm-hmm.
other things that I'm doing, but for the same reason, because I used to go to the festival and no one really made posts or videos about to
Yeah.
help people. Like if people were posting videos about the festival, it was like what happened at Coachella. It kind of just blogs, big YouTube videos.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm gonna bring value to people. Just some of the advice that I have going to the festival, and I actually live here, so I live like 10 minutes from the venue. So
Oh my God, that's so nice.
yeah, so I save a lot of money. Well, compared to some people that have to travel to the festival.
Yeah.
So the last time you
Yeah.
went to Coachella was 2017. You said?
Yeah. So that was my first time and my last time.
Oh, really?
But I'm hoping to go back next year. We'll see.
Yeah, the lineup drops in January, so and then the tickets
Yeah.
go on sale the first week. So you have
Yeah.
a little bit of plan. What was the first music festival or what got you into like the music festival scene? Or
Music festival scene. So, I had been listening to EDM music and stuff, or EDM music, EDM since about 2012, 2011, I want to say. It was like around the time of
okay,
like Swedish House Mafia,
yeah,
David Guetta,
Calvin
Calvin
Harris,
Harris. Yeah,
Dead Mouse, and them.
that whole group of people. It was mainly from like finding remixes of like mainstream songs and stuff and then kind of going down that rabbit hole. But I didn't go to my first like event or rave festival, whatever you want to call it, until Mad Decent 2015. Do you have you heard of Mad Decent Block Party?
I actually haven't no
So
decent.
it was a touring, like one day type of event that Diplo put on because
Oh, okay.
his whole record label is called Mad Decent. And so he had like a touring event that would go to like Arizona, where I live, California, a bunch of other places. And so at my school at Arizona State that I went to, I think I was a junior. That was like one of the big first events of the year to go to. And I didn't go when I was a sophomore because I was just coming out of a relationship and I didn't really know anyone to go with. And then my junior year, I finally went and I I need to do a story time of this my first like rave event experience, whatever, because it was I don't know if I can cuss, but it was a shit
Yeah,
show.
yeah, you could cuss.
Okay.
No problem.
It was a shit show. I was taking care of someone the whole time. It was a really bad first experience. And so I would say my first like real rave festival experience was Decadence, Arizona 2017.
Was that like
Um,
one of your worst experiences since you've been to a lot of music festivals, is that one of your worst ones? Or do you have another worst
uh,
experience?
yeah, I think that was probably the worst. I don't think like it was just a lot of things going on and having to take care of someone. So, and I misspoke. My first next one I would say was Decadence, Arizona 2015, not 2017. And just being around the people, the music, everything, I just like loved it. And it was a New Year's festival. So like the whole
Oh, okay.
feeling of like a New Year's, like ringing in the new year with everyone. So yeah, then after that I just like got hooked. And then I would say my first big major festival was definitely Coachella 2017 because that was like my first big 3-day festival. It was camping and everything.
That was Kendrick Lamar. Was that the year?
Oh yeah, I didn't see Kendrick though.
You didn't see Kendrick?
I know,
His
and I
performance was a
regret
little
it
boring, to be
so
honest.
much.
It was a little
I
boring. I'm not,
regret it.
didn't
Okay.
miss much.
I was
No,
at What's So Not.
you were where?
I was at What's So Not at that time.
Oh, damn. Yeah, I think what I really like, Sia, right before Kendrick, I really love Sia's performance. I'm not even a big
Mm,
fan of her, but she was
yeah,
cool. She
that was
she
awesome.
put a good performance. But yeah, I've had some bad, like you said, babysitting. Like at Coachella's, a lot of stuff that's happened over
Oh,
the
I
years.
bet.
My worst experience was like I drank 2 4 locos before going in, which I don't recommend to
Oh,
anybody. No
no,
one should ever drink
never.
2 4 locos ever, like not even
Yeah.
you're in a home. So it was just I blacked out like 10 minutes into being inside. It was one
Oh,
of the days. I feel like it was on a Sunday. And I passed out for like two
yeah.
hours. And then when I woke up, my head was just hurting the whole time. So
Oh,
that was just like
I
the worst
bet.
experience.
How many
uh,
times have you been to Coachella?
10 years.
Whoa,
Yeah,
that's
my first,
awesome.
well, it's, I live here. So it's,
Yeah,
for me, it's a lot cheaper. And we still pay this regular price, but since I don't have to worry about the travel and all the stuff, so
yeah.
my first two Coachellas, I didn't go the 3 days. So 2009 was my very first one. I was a sophomore in high school in 2009.
Okay.
So I got free tickets because I used to go to this local, like it's called like the teen center, and they gave
Mhm.
us free tickets. I was like, yeah, I've never had gone, and I just went on a Friday. Paul McCartney and I forgot who else played. I think Franz Ferdinand, and
Yeah.
it's like 2009. So it was a lot more rock back in the day. So I went to Coachella, and I was just hooked. I was like, man, this is amazing. I used to hear stories like that people were like walking around naked and doing this, and it's like I don't know, like a negative stigma. There's a lot of negative
Yeah.
stigma with like music festivals. People that don't go to the festivals, like there's always, it doesn't mean matter what festival, like you just talk about a festival and people are always like hating on it for no reason. So
Yeah.
I
There's so
just,
much about Coachella too, and I, like, loved Coachella. I don't have any hate towards Coachella. I had such a great experience, and, like, people just take away, like, the influencer stuff now. It's crazy that you talk about, like, what the stigma was probably back then of, like, naked people and, like, hippies and, like, stuff like that,
yeah.
and now it's, like, changed so much to this, like,
Oh,
influencer
definitely.
stuff and celebrities and, like, whatever, so I'm sure that's been interesting to see that change as you've gone,
Yeah. The
for so
first
many
couple of
years.
years, it was a lot of, yeah, like I guess you could say hippie culture. And back then, before PC culture, so there was a lot of people wearing like Native American like
Oh,
attire
yeah,
and all
yeah.
that stuff, and that kind of went away. Now it's a fashion show, and they
Yeah.
have to dress. It's gone pretty crazy. Right now, it's really hip hop dominated, which is I guess just the music industry in general. Like hip hop just kind of took over the
Yeah.
mainstream. So
Mhm.
it used to be really rock, really indie bands. That was when I first started going. There was a lot of indie bands, a lot of um, just hipsters, I guess. But it was fun.
Yeah.
Now it's just like you said, it's all about social media. And back then there was no social media. I didn't even have a phone the first year that I went, so it's way back in the day.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, I bet.
my first year that I went to 3 days was 2011. That was my senior year in high school. So it was my 18th birthday, 2011. That was my birthday present. So I went because my birthday came out the same weekend as my birthday. So I just went, and it was just
Yeah.
amazing. So
That's
every
awesome.
every year I just made a commitment just to go to it. And like you said, I started making content around. I actually my first Coachella video was 2011, but I didn't really make one until like 2016. and Coachella 2018 is when I decided to start making Coachella content to help people and to just
Mhm.
like rumors and things like that. And
Yeah.
this year was crazy. And I had a lot of videos that did really well. So I'm
Yeah,
excited for
that's awesome.
2020. Yeah, just
Yeah.
what's the next music festival that you're gonna be going to coming up soon?
Actually this weekend I'll be at Freaky Deaky in Houston, Texas. So that one's like all EDM. It's gonna be like Fisher, Mala, I think Armin van Buuren and Martin Garrix will be there. It's a 2-day festival, so and it's like 3 hours from where I live, so pretty easy to get to. But yeah, I'm
You li-
super excited for that one.
yeah, you travel a lot because I think I've been following you maybe since Lollapalooza. Like, you know how the
Okay.
YouTube algorithm, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
I saw
yeah.
one of your videos and I was like, okay, cool. Like, I wanted to go because my cousins live in Chicago and they always
Yeah.
want me to go and stuff. So I saw that your video. I was, oh, that's pretty cool. And I don't think I subscribed to you at that time. But then I
Mhm.
got another recommendation like months later. It was that music festival, and you lost your vlogging camera, and then
Oh,
you somehow
imagine.
imagine, and then you got it back,
Yeah.
which was super cool because that speaks
Yeah.
volumes to the community. Like you lost your vlogging camera, and then you found it at
Yeah.
returns or something.
Yeah, someone turned it in and I was like, "Oh my god," like, I could not believe that, like, it was just so lucky, and I'm so grateful for it. I still haven't been able to find the guy, but
I was
hopefully
gonna
one day
ask you,
I'll be able to.
have you reached them?
No, I
That's
haven't been able to find him. I put it on Twitter, I put it on Instagram, put it on Facebook and Reddit and haven't been able to find him, but just been sending him good karma for that because 'cause it's been yeah, that's, like, really would have been really bad end to the trip for sure, losing that camera.
no, you definitely you would have lost all your memories. Like it happened to me. I forgot which year it was. I lost all my data from my phone, so I lost all the videos and all the pictures because
Oh,
my phone stopped working, and I had to get like an upgraded phone. And somehow at the store they said they couldn't transfer all the files, and I didn't back anything up in the on the cloud, which was so bad.
oh,
Ended up losing everything.
yeah.
So
Before
that's
every festival, I back everything up before
oh,
I
you do.
leave. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to make sure just because you never know, especially if you're going out of town. Like you might not be able to. Like, what if someone finds it and lives like somewhere on the other side of the country? How
Yeah.
does like a lineup influence you going to a festival, or you just decide I'm gonna go to this festival no matter what, or how do you choose that?
Mm, it kind of depends. For so like for Freaky Deaky, I was already kind of selling tickets for it with my promo code and stuff. I knew that I probably would be able to get a free ticket through that. So that kind of influences it a little bit.
Yeah,
Being able to get the free ticket is really nice. But, for most of the time, if I see a lineup and I've seen a lot of the artists already, I don't really feeling that inclined to go, unless it's, like, one of those festivals that you just have to experience, right? So, like, they just have a really solid experience overall. So, like, with, the time I went to Coachella, I probably would have just gone to Coachella anyway because it just looks like an overall great experience. Same thing with EDC, Electric Forest, Holy Ship, like, those festivals are just all
yeah,
festivals that you just wanna experience, you know?
yeah. Those are the big
But
ones.
yeah, but then, so for some of the other, like, smaller festivals or festivals that I might have to travel to, like Coachella the past 2 years, I wasn't so inclined to go back because of the lineup, because I had moved out to Austin, Texas, so going from Austin to Coachella is a
Yeah,
trek. And before I had gone to Coachella from Arizona because that's where I was living at the time. And so going to Coachella from Arizona is easy. You just drive,
Yeah, three
no
and a half
problem at
hours,
all.
4 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, not a bad trip at all. You pay very little money, but when you do live in Texas, you're having to fly and figure out all the
I mean,
logistics
Beyonce
and stuff.
wasn't enticing enough to go to Coachella 2018. No.
I love her, but, like, she wasn't that enticing to me. I wasn't totally heartbroken when, she didn't come to Coachella 2017 and she got replaced with Lady Gaga. I wasn't, like, totally heartbroken about that. I mean, it would've been
Oh
great,
yeah,
but I also was
Lady Gaga
fresh
was
out of
great though. Yeah,
yeah,
I like.
but I was
To be
also,
honest,
like
I'll go ahead.
sorry, go you're good.
Oh, that I like
But
Lady Gaga more than Beyonce. That's all
yeah.
I had to say.
Yeah, but, yeah, I was also fresh out of college the year Beyoncé played, so, like, I didn't really have whole lot of money. So it's like money, lineup, all of that kinda plays a factor. If the lineup is, like, a lot of people that I haven't seen, I definitely feel more inclined to go. But yeah, that's kind of the thought process I go to. I take into account, like, is it possible for me to get a free ticket either through being a promoter, media pass, influencer program, whatever? How does the lineup look? Do I like the lineup? Is it exciting to me? Is it not exciting to me? And then how much would it cost for me to make this trip if it was out of state?
Yeah,
Is kind of all the factors I take into account.
that's good. But like for me, I haven't really gone to a lot of music festivals in a while. Like just Coachella every year, just because it is pretty pricey too, though.
Yeah.
And I spent a lot of money. But the 20 like 16, I think it was. I went to Hard Summer. I went to
Okay.
Coachella. And this year, the next one I'm going to is Rolling Loud in Los Angeles, which is in December.
Okay.
So that
Yeah.
one's it's gonna be my first time going to Rolling Loud. It's more of a hip hop festival, but I was like,
Yeah.
I haven't really gone out. So next year, I definitely want to do a lot more music festivals and kind of branch out a little bit, not just be all
Yeah. Coachella.
yeah all about Coachella. So it's exciting though, like just the
Yeah.
community that you built on YouTube by bringing value to people. Like people really appreciate you making videos about your
Mhm.
experience, tips, and we're just giving advice on what we're experiencing. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Which ones do you wanna go to next year?
Well, I know EDC is one that I've been wanting to go forever. I've never gone to it,
Yeah.
so I have friends that used to go all the time back in the day, and even now. So it's like, man, every time I see their videos or their Instagram
Yeah.
posts, it just looks amazing. So that's one that's on my bucket list. I do want to go to Lollapalooza next year. Like I said, my cousins live in
Yeah.
Chicago, and I've never been to Chicago, so that's actually another incentive just to kind of visit.
Yeah.
How was Lollapalooza?
I really was surprised by Lolla because that's another big festival that has a lot of, like, negativity or, like, bad
Mm.
stigmas, like, around it. But same thing as you, I've never been to Chicago, so I saw it as a trip to go to Chicago. I really liked the lineup. A lot of my friends, when we saw the lineup, we were texting each other and we were like, "Alright, like, we're gonna go to Chicago." And so, I really liked it. So a lot of this negative stigma is that it's a lot of young kids because it's an all ages festival.
Hmm.
But I'm sure like at Coachella you see like it's an all ages festival. You
Oh
see
yeah,
young kids
this
everywhere.
this past Coachella was
And
crazy too. It
yeah,
was
and like at Austin City Limits where I'm from, because I live in Austin, we go to ACL and there's young kids there. So like Lollapalooza wasn't a big surprise to me seeing like high schoolers and college kids a little fucked up and stuff. Like that didn't really surprise me. And another thing is that people like because it does have a lot of EDM on the lineup, it's still not an EDM festival. And so a lot of people are like in the EDM community kind of bash it and they're like, we don't claim Lollapalooza because there's kids
okay.
moshing to house music or whatever. But it's like it's a multi-genre festival. Like there's
Yeah,
a ton of other
exactly.
acts there. So that's just my 2 cents, but we had a
Yeah,
great time.
those two festivals, they're for all kinds of people. So I understand there's a
Yeah.
certain crowd that only likes a certain type of music, and I don't know why people like to bash. And like how you were saying about the kids, maybe they're on drugs, maybe they're drinking with like fake wristbands or something. But it just that's everywhere you go, you know. Like
Yeah.
just it's just bound to happen. So
Yeah.
just kind of I feel like people just mind their own business, in my opinion. As long as your group and you're doing good with your group and the people that you go with, and we're all just trying to have fun. So those kids are trying to have fun, but also like there's some people that like. I mean, I like I said, I already blacked out at Coachella before, but one of the things that makes me mad is every time like Coachella opens on a Friday, so I come into the festival Friday like 2 or 3 o'clock, and there's already people like dehydrated and passed out at the medical
Oh, yeah.
tents. And I'm like, you just spent all this money to travel here. You spent the money on the ticket, and you're missing out on these artists. And not only like that, but you're ruining the experience for your friends because they're worried about you. You know, you're like, oh man,
Yeah.
I hope he's okay. I hope she's okay. So
Yeah.
that's one thing. One of the tips I always tell people, like, take it easy, like hydrate, like watch out
Yeah.
for the dust, like always have some kind of protection, especially
Mhm.
if it's some kind of festival where it's a lot of dirt and you don't want to be sucking in all
Yeah.
the dirt.
Yeah.
So uh,
I've said that too about people that go to Coachella that are, like, not from California, not from Arizona, because, like, if you're not used to, like, the heat, if you're not used to, like, being in the desert or, like, the dust, like, you're gonna be in for a real shock, and,
yeah,
a lot of people think that they don't need to drink water, and I just think that's crazy.
oh, it's insane.
Like, yeah, so definitely I've talked about that before of like heads up for Coachella, like you need to have these things, bandana, stay hydrated. Like with any festival, it's not a marathon, it's not a sprint. It's a or yeah,
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
it's a marathon, not a sprint. I was saying that backwards.
That's one of my tips. Like I always that's always one of my tips for every music festival that I make.
Yeah.
So marathon and people I gave a bunch of advice, and then there's some people that hit me up like the week after the festival, like they're like, dude, I took your advice and I didn't get sick, all
Oh.
my friends got sick, and you told me to drink water and do this and I feel better. Like it's kind of common sense, some of these tips, but some people just don't know. Like you said, if you're not experienced going into a hot desert, like even today, I think it was like 90 something degrees today. Oh, well, you live in Austin now, so
Yeah.
how's the weather's, I don't know how the
It's
weather's over there.
cooling down. Normally it's pretty similar to like Arizona, except we cool down a lot sooner than I think like Arizona, California does, or Southern California. But yeah, it's getting like 50s in the morning, which is freezing, but then it like warms up to like 80, 85. So we're in kind of that weird
Yeah,
part of the year where it's like really hot and then gets really cold. So
yeah, you gotta take a sweater in
um
the morning, and then you're
yeah,
sweating by
then
like
take
10,
it
11
off.
o'clock. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how it is right now. But I mean, we gotta enjoy it. At least we don't. How bad does it get in the winter over there though? Because I know here is kind of the same.
It'll get like 30, 40. Not bad compared to like East Coast or like up north or
Yeah,
anything.
yeah. We live in good places. That's always like, I know this is, it gets too hot, especially here. And you lived in Arizona, so you know how hot the summers are. But
Oh
it's
yeah.
kind of worth it those 2 3 months. But then the rest of the year is kind of great, so you don't have to worry about
Yeah.
tornadoes for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, last thing. What advice would you give yourself if you were going to a music festival and you've never gone? So for a newbie, I guess. So like,
Yeah.
give me like your top three advice for a newbie
Okay.
that's never been to a music festival.
Um Probably uh my first one that I always say is have an open mind. Just like go in, don't have any expectations because expectations ruin everything. So just go in with an open mind, be open to the experience and the people around you and the people you're gonna meet and stuff. Um, go with the flow, would kind of go in with that whole theme there. Um, I always tell girls, and I guess this would work for guys, don't stress about what to wear or like what to bring necessarily as much. That was something I stressed about so much, but wear what you're gonna feel comfortable in, what you can dance
Exactly. I
all
love that you
night
said that too,
in.
because
Yeah,
especially for Coachella, like we were talking about, everybody thinks it's like a fashion show, but like
yeah,
I don't know how those people that dress in like crazy outfits survive. Like it's so uncomfortable, it's so hot, it's so
yeah,
humid. You're walking miles. Like one of my tips as well is always be comfortable. And
yep.
people don't really care what you're wearing because they're gonna think it's cool that you're already at a music festival in the first place.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah, just especially for your first time at a festival, like you're gonna see all these like extravagant outfits. And like it's taken me 2 years, almost 2.5 years to like work my confidence up to wear certain things to festivals. So just wear something that you're gonna be comfortable in all night, all day, wear comfortable shoes, and then, in terms of, like, what to bring, honestly, just have something to stay hydrated, bring chapstick, that's about it. You don't really need to worry about the other stuff until, like, later on. Hopefully, you have, like, a rave mom or a rave dad of the group that can, like, take care of you, and provide gum and all that other stuff that you might need. And then the last thing, let loose and just have fun. Like you talked about, we spend so much money on these experiences, and we do it because we love it and we love to
yeah,
escape for a weekend and not have to think about all the adulting bullshit that we have to do.
exactly.
So just let go and enjoy the ride that you go on with your festival experience.
Like that high you get once you're finished with the music festival. I know sometimes it's a little sad, but you just feel so much better. Like you say,
Yeah,
you do a either 2 day, 3 days. You go home, you're like, wow, that was amazing. You're just thinking about it, and
yeah,
you meet so many cool people. If they're a solo, like some people are afraid to go to festivals because they don't have maybe a lot of friends or their friends can't go or
yeah,
whatever. It's fun. Like the communities, there's great people and people. There's a lot of people that go solo too. So that's
yeah.
when. What? One more question. Do you go
Mhm,
to a concert since you're always going to music festivals? Do you like
mhm.
take time to go to individual concerts, like if you want to watch somebody?
Yeah, so, sometimes it depends.
Mhm.
So, I haven't really gone to a show in a while, but I'm going to Millennium in November, which I'm really excited about because he had his new album come out. He has a whole new tour out, so I wanted to see what the new tour set was gonna be like, so I bought his tickets. But most of the time lately, I haven't been buying show tickets because a lot of the people that I've been wanting to see are on the festival lineups that I pick. So I see them then instead of doing the tour tickets because it just saves money that way. But if it's a really good show and I know that they won't be coming or like they're not on any upcoming lineups I have, then I might go check them
Mhm.
out.
Do you what kind of music besides like electronic music do you listen to? Or are you just
So
more
I'll listen to, like, alternative indie kinda stuff. I started out kind of listening more to, like, the alternative stuff, like, All Time Low, Mayday Parade, The Main, all these, like, rock bands, alternative rock bands, I guess you wanna say, Panic at the Disco, all those. And then, I still kinda listen to a little bit of those, and then more indie alternative kinda stuff like
yeah,
Lanny, the 1975, Death Cab for Cuties, stuff like that. And then most of it is EDM, and then some like of the vocalists that a lot of the EDM artists feature, I've like grown to
oh,
love.
okay.
So like Chelsea Cutler, Love, Julia Michaels, I like listen to their solo stuff, which I don't really know what they are. They're kind of like pop a little bit.
Yeah,
Um, but
that's
yeah, I
cool.
kinda listen to a little bit of everything, because I like going to those multi-genre festivals, so I do like to listen to other music, not just EDM, but EDM has definitely become a huge part of my
Yeah,
life
for
and my
sure.
brand for sure.
That's so cool. So where can people find you for people that want to get to know your channel or
Yeah.
your Instagram or whatever?
Yeah, so you can find so I have the blog, it's vibewithade.com. That's VIBEWITHADE.com. And then the same thing, Vibe with Aid, is on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. I have a Facebook page too that doesn't really get much love, but if you're on Facebook, I post there from time to time too.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you for coming on the podcast. And I know we tried to kind of set this up for a while, but we finally made it happen. So I'm glad to have this conversation with you.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully, I'll get to run into you at Coachella next year.
Yeah, I better see you Coachella 2020.